You're welcome here once again. Last week, I talked about my Yoruba roots. I delved into purpose. And then I also mentioned something around being a lifelong learner. Thank you and welcome. Let me greet you in my indigenous language, where my mom and my dad come from. Fortunately for me, my dad and my mom are from the same place. So I don't have to learn so much about where they come from, like their background. So Eweso in my traditional language. Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones: the northwest, northeast, north central, southwest, southeast, and the south. So where I'm from is the southwest, the southwestern part of Nigeria. The southwest part is dominantly we have Yoruba speaking people. So, but my parents, let's visualize this. I want you to have like a visual representation of where I come from. So my parents are from the southwestern part. And that southwestern part, let's say we have like under those 6 zones. We have 36 states in all in Nigeria, but they are divided in those 6 geopolitical zones. So thankfully, I'm from Southwest. Thankfully for me, in a way. So I would say that the Southwest is where I schooled. I grew up. And then the South, I just had to go there because of the National Youth Service Corps, where you get to serve your fatherland. You get the government stipends for doing that for a year, just so that you have an experience of workplace. So if you're lucky, you get paid for it by the organization you work with, or you just get the government stipend. I'm saying that even though we have 36 states in Nigeria, under those geopolitical zones that is divided into, I've only been to the southwest, where I schooled, where I grew up, and I've gone to the south and also had an opportunity when I was transitioning from one state to another, went to the north central, Benue State. So my mom, they used to speak that language a lot, the indigenous language of the town where they gave birth to me in Ogun State. Because I grew up there, I was there for about 7 years before they moved me to another city in Southwest, which is Oyo State, Ibadan. I lived in Ibadan. So I've lived in Ogun State, I've lived in Oyo State, and also Lagos State. And I had to go to Calabar for my NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps that I mentioned. And then I just traveled by Benue State. I slept overnight. So you can tell that I've only been to like maybe 5 places in Nigeria for schooling and then where I grew up. So my indigenous language, where my mom comes from, they speak Ijebu. And then they say something in Ijebu. Èmi ò ní fi ọwọ́ òsì júwe ilé bàbá mi. Help me translate it. Meaning, I think it has to do with, I will not use my left hand and just describe where I come from. I'm a born and bred girl from Ogun State in Nigeria. So, Ekwileo, ṣé dáadáa ni. Let me try. I don't think I can. Ṣé àlàáfíà ni mo bá wọn? I know I don't know how to say the indigenous language very well, but I understand everything that they're saying, but I don't know how to speak that fluently. But the Yoruba language I can speak fluently. So I'm saying the town where my mom comes from in Ogun State, I don't know how to speak their language, but I understand very well. My dad and my mom communicate in that, and my grandparents also communicate in that. I also want to say something to you. Our identities are formed from there. Where I come from, the food I like, my personality. I didn't know. I didn't experience Nigerians. We are very funny. And I didn't know that all of these things are shaping me in a way. In my hometown, before we moved, my first encounter with a masquerade. I had my first encounter with masquerades because my great grandpa, you remember I said he named me Oyepero. I think he's a chief in that town. And then they gave him that power and authority to preside over the masquerades, I guess, because he'd keep coming to our house before they go to the main events. They come to our home in my grandfather's house and they pay homage to my great grandfather. They beat each other, whip each other up, and then dance in their costume, laugh, drink. They're shouting, yelling. Everybody It's so noisy for me as a child. What do you think? I usually run and meet my mom because I'm so scared of them. I can't see their face. Remember, I also mentioned that I'm very, very curious. So I'm like, what are they putting on? What do they have on? What's going on behind the mask? I peeped through the window. That's the least I could do. But then I would run and take cover because I don't know what they are, who they are. That's my first encounter with masquerades. And then the other encounter, I didn't know that this experience is going to help me and shape me. Did it help me? You'll find out. So when I went to South, Cross River State, Calabar to be precise, for my NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps. And one day, I was going around doing my duty as a story person. I gather stories and I use it, to, give it to my supervisor. Sent me an assignment. And I was on a bike, an electrical one. And then the bike man was moving. I'm like, okay, what's going on? There are so many people around here. What's going on? He said, masquerade is out. I said, you guys are working. You're supposed to be indoor or something. Then he moved past the masquerade. The next thing I heard was a whip. They whipped my ass. I cried. I felt it. The masquerade was actually trying to target the bike person. Why? Because he demanded $20 and the bike man refused to give it to him. I think it's part of, that there's a celebration going on. You should give them some cash so that it can allow you pass. I mean, I remember that day. I got off the bike and I ran after the masquerade. Imagine. They say they are deity. How can you run after a deity? You run after, you beat me, you hit me, didn't you know, because of 20 naira? I was arguing with a masquerade. So that's to tell you that I had 2 encounters with a masquerade when I was a little girl, just before 7 years old. Because I remember that we moved to Oyo State, Ibadan, when I was around 7, 8 years old. So, and when I went for NYC around 2010. You can imagine those experiences. I mean, I'm so happy seeing them now. I'm so happy about my roots. I'm glad that I'm from Keneremo. And all of these have shaped me. You can't even pick your parent, right? Neither can you pick where you come from. All of these, I have formed an identity from it. My personality. So, èmi lọmọ wọn ní Ìkẹnẹ Erékè, ibi owó gbé ń so. Ẹ̀yin aráalé, you know that I'm part of you, right? And I said it in a way that I can't remember. So. It's just simply saying, well done. How are you? Ekule, just like the Yoruba language. And I'm so glad that I'm able to share all these stories. And I remember I told you that these stories are going to be some sort of, laughter, life lessons, and fun. So I want you to always remember that all of these things shaped me. And that would happen to everybody. It will shape you where you come from. It will shape you into who you become. My tastes, personality, type of music that I liked, everything shaped me. The kind of food that I eat, and even up until now, some of the things that I engage in, they all come from the fact that I have this experience. And so I just want to tell you that someone right here, had some experiences that have shaped her. And so with you as well, there will be some experiences that will shape you in life, either good or bad. It would determine your choices, the things you like, your idiosyncrasies, and then your facial expression, your interests, and some sort of, liveliness around you. Your gloomy nature, your happy nature, your fun nature. I love enjoying life, actually. You can tell. So I think my background, maybe the water I drank, because I drank those water. So those water, I think it really helped me. And then going back to my great grandfather, you can see there were events, and I'm also into events. My grandfather must be an Alafe man. So it all contributes to my DNA, the kind of person I became. Because those masquerades do come there before they go to the town hall. And then they go there, they come to my great grandfather's place to have fun. They get ready, their voices get huskier, and then they get ready for the main event at maybe the town hall. And, where they go to, maybe the Ojudi Oba or wherever, somewhere around the King's Palace or where they have the main event. But they come to our place to have fun, to drink, to collaborate, to get ready for the main event. So you can tell that I'm a fun, loving person from all of my experiences and my background. So I want you to always stay tuned. I promise to always come back here. Emi le mamari, oni fel my lumi shemi. Meaning I will be back. Stay tuned. Keep growing. Stay happy. I love you.